China has spent years pitching the J-10CE as the affordable answer to the Rafale, F-16 and Gripen. Pakistan bought it. Indonesia has now announced the major order. Bangladesh is reportedly looking at it. But for an aircraft Beijing markets as combat-tested, networked and far cheaper than Western rivals, the export list is still surprisingly short. Serbia chose the Rafale, Thailand stayed with Gripen, Argentina bought F-16s. Even Egypt is looking at India's LCA Tejas. Yet, China's own state media keeps running interviews celebrating the jet's combat record. So why does a fighter jet with an active production line and an aggressive marketing campaign keep failing to close deals beyond one loyal buyer? Is the problem technology, trust, politics, or is China discovering that selling fighter jets is not the same as manufacturing them? Let's find out. Here's the basic picture. The J-10CE first entered Pakistan Air Force service in March 2022, with roughly 22 jets delivered and a handful more on order, according to aviation data tracker Cirium. Production of the older J-10A and J-10B variants has already stopped inside China itself. What keeps the assembly line alive today is the export version, the J-10CE, alongside a domestic retrofit program that upgrades older Chinese jets to J-10C standard with new software, electronic warfare suites, and integration with China's KJ-500 airborne early warning aircraft. In other words, China is not building fresh J-10s for its own air force in large numbers anymore. It's counting on exports to justify keeping the line open at all. China got its biggest marketing opportunity in May 2025 when Pakistan claimed its J-10CE fighters firing Chinese PL-15E missiles targeted Indian Rafale Su-30 MKI and Mirage 2000 jets during the 4-day clash called Operation Sindoor. On the first anniversary this May, Chinese state media aired an interview with AVIC engineer Zhang Heng, who openly admitted China had provided technical support to Pakistan during that conflict, including for the J-10CE specifically. The jet's manufacturer Chengdu went further, telling state media that the aircraft would remain commercially relevant in the global arms market for the next 2 to 3 decades and declaring China ready to export it to any friendly country. That's about as direct a sales pitch as a state-run defense industry gets. Despite that marketing blitz, the actual customer list has not moved. Egypt, Bangladesh, Indonesia, Iraq, Iran have all been repeatedly linked to J-10CE interest in reports going back to October 2025. Not one of them has finalized the deal. Analysts tracking the program note something telling. In most of these countries, the J-10CE is not just competing against Chinese rivals. It's competing against upgraded American F-16s and even India's own LCA Tejas, which Delhi has actively pitched to buyers like Egypt. French intelligence and the US-China Economic and Security Review Commission both separately accused Beijing of trying to undercut France's Rafale sales after the 2025 clash, spreading doubts about the French jet's survivability. That campaign does not appear to have worked either. Rafale continues attracting buyer interest, largely unaffected. There is one exception worth watching closely: Uzbekistan. Uzbekistan's defense minister publicly confirmed a 24-jet order last year, with deliveries phased around pilot training conducted inside China. Unverified reports suggest 4 jets may have actually arrived in July this year, though that specific claim comes only from Chinese military enthusiast social media accounts, with no Uzbek government confirmation or satellite imagery to back it up yet. If it holds up, this would be the first real crack in Russia's decades-long monopoly over Central Asian air power and China's most meaningful J-10CE win outside Pakistan. Strip away the marketing and 2 structural problems remain. First, engine reliability. International buyers remain cautious about the long-term durability of China's indigenous WS-10 engine, a concern that does not exist with American or European alternatives. Second, and more fundamentally, the J-10CE has exactly one combat record, and it's contested, unverified by any independent source, and delivered entirely through Pakistani and Chinese state media claims rather than a neutral confirmation. Every potential buyer weighing this jet is essentially being asked to trust Beijing's account of its own product's performance, with no outside verification available. Until that changes, aviation diplomacy may keep generating headlines, but it is not yet generating signatures on actual contracts.
Nuclear weapon.
The old rules are breaking. Alliances are shifting.
Apologize again to the victims of the paedophile Jeffrey Epstein.
Wars are redrawing maps. Oil routes can shake economies overnight. One election in America can impact markets in Mumbai.
No tax on tips.
One move by China can alter the balance in Asia. One conflict in West Asia can hit every Indian household. This is no longer a distant story. This is our story. Your story. Because for the first time in decades, India is not watching from the sidelines. India is rising. India is negotiating. India is balancing rivals. India is building military strength. India is shaping trade routes. India is becoming central to the new global order. And yet, most global news is still told through someone else's lens. Washington's lens, Beijing's lens, London's lens. But where is India's lens? Where is the platform that explains the world from our perspective? Welcome to India's Axis, a new destination for geopolitics, strategy and power seen through India's eyes. From Neighborhood Watch to the biggest global stories that matter to you. Why tensions in the Taiwan Strait matter to India. How one move by China can affect India's security. What turmoil in Pakistan means for regional stability. How Bangladesh, Sri Lanka, Nepal, and Bhutan shape India's neighborhood. Why oil choke points can hit your wallet. How wars abroad can reshape India's security. This is not noise. This is not shouting. This is not recycled headlines. This is sharp, intelligent storytelling. Daily explainers, war room analysis, strategic conversations. Because news is everywhere, but perspective is rare, and in the age of confusion, clarity is power. Axis is for the audience that wants more than headlines. The axis of global power is shifting. India is at the center of that shift. It's time the world was explained accordingly, to understand the world through India's strategic lens. Subscribe now.